Type 1 diabetes is a different disease compared to type 2. As type 2 can be picked up and dropped based on activity level and diet, type 1 is an autoimmune disease that is genetic and permanent. Type 1 diabetes is a disease that causes the immune system to attack the pancreas, killing it and cutting off the insulin supply from the body. Natalie DeSantis, a 15-year-old girl from Ohio, has suffered from type 1 diabetes for 8 years.
When I was first diagnosed, I remember being scared, but not necessarily for me, more for my family. I was afraid of what kind of burdens I was going to put on them. And then when I finally started getting a hold of it, in the next couple of years, I remember being really mad all the time, just frustrated, and I don't even remember why. It might have been my blood sugar rising, but I remember taking it out on my friends and family, and I regret that. But for some reason, when I was younger, I couldn't see that, and it was difficult. But now I'm able to control my blood sugar, and I understand why this is all happening. It's not as hard. The first couple of years, I had a setup that mainly consisted of shots, but now that technology has advanced, I have a pump and a transmitter which sees my blood sugar, it tracks my blood sugar, and it sends it to the pump, which gives me insulin for it, whether I'm going up or down.
Sadly, not all are as fortunate as Natalie, and the prices are ridiculously high for diabetic pharmaceuticals such as testing strips and vials of insulin. Also, Natalie's equipment is quite expensive. The social cost for type 1 diabetes is also quite taxing. Type 1 diabetics across the world face misconceptions. Luckily for Natalie, her friend Lucy McNeese has always been there to help her and understand.
Well, I remember when she first came, it was really big and exciting for everyone when she would go to take her blood sugar or give her insulin shots and everything. Everybody kind of crowded around and wanted to know what was happening and help her and support her. It's obviously become less of a huge deal, but I think that we all kind of know what we need to do. Natalie knows what she needs to do. We all understand what goes on with all of her treatments and things. I think that the word diabetes isn't really, you don't hear diabetes after type 1 or type 2. You just hear diabetes a lot, which is why I definitely think that there's a common misconception where people just say, oh, they have diabetes. And people assume that, it's because they ate too much sugar or they should go on a diet.
There are millions of people with type 1 diabetes across the planet. Not all are as fortunate as Natalie, and some aren't as responsible either. The misconceptions must be put to an end, and a more open-minded understanding must be adopted to help relieve an already heavy burden on the type 1 diabetes population.